PMI just tripled the weight of one domain on the PMP exam. If you're using 2025 study materials right now, you may be studying for a test that no longer exists after July 8th. I passed the PMP in 1 month of study, but I still couldn't get interviews or land a PM job until 11 months later. So I know what it costs when you invest in the wrong thing at the wrong time. So when PMI announced the new exam content outline launching July 9th, 2026, I paid attention and noticed that most of the content out there about it is either incomplete or designed to get you buy a new course. Today I want to give you the actual breakdown, what's changing, what it means for you specifically as a career changer, and how to decide what to do before that deadline. Let me start with the mechanics. The PMP Exam Content Outline is a blueprint that determines every question on the exam. PMI revises it when they believe the role of a project manager has shifted enough that the test needs to reflect that. The last major revision was in 2021. This one goes live July 9th, 2026. The structure stays the same, 3 domains, 180 questions, but the weights are different. Right now, the breakdown is people at 42%, process at 50%, and business environments at 8%. After July 8th, it becomes people at 33%, process at 41%, and business environment at 26%. Here's what that means in plain language. Process still the biggest domain, but business environment just went from being a footprint to being nearly a quarter of exam. And people got trimmed, not eliminated, trimmed. These are not tiny adjustments. I want to sit on that business environment number for a second, because I think most people are glossing over it. Business environment went from 8% to 26%. That's not a refresh. That's a structural shift in what PMI believes a project manager needs to know. It's moving the exam from can you manage a project toward can you connect a project to business value, governance, stakeholder impact, and real-world ambiguity. Those are different questions. They require different preparation. The current exam is roughly half predictive and half agile or hybrid. The new exam is 40% predictive and 60% adaptive, agile or hybrid. So if you've been leaning hard on Gantt charts and traditional waterfall methodology, that's going to matter. And here's the piece that almost nobody is highlighting for career changes specifically. The new exam recognizes a 10-year window for qualifying project experience. The previous framing was 8 years. That's meaningful if your relevant project work goes back further than you thought to count. There's a decision most people watching this are sitting with. Should I push hard and take the current exam before July 8th, or should I take my time and prepare for the new one? I'm going to give you the honest answer, which is it depends on one thing: where you are right now in your preparation. If you're 60 to 70% ready and you can realistically pass in the next 6 weeks, take the current exam. Don't let the announcement break your momentum. The 2021 VCO is a valid, well-documented exam. Your materials are solid, stay the course. If you're early in your preparation or you haven't started yet, stop and reorient around the new outline. PMI make updated resources available starting April 14, 2026. Use those. Anything aligned only to the 2021 ECO is going to leave gaps when the new exam goes live. If you're somewhere in the middle, maybe 3 or 4 months into studying, here's what I would not do. I would not panic and try to rush an exam you're not ready for. Failing costs your time, money, and momentum. That's not the trade-off you want to make in a tight job market. The honest guidance is this: rushing only helps you if you are actually ready. If you're not ready, the new exam is your friend, because the new exam rewards the kind of judgment you've already been building. Business context, stakeholder complexity, real-world ambiguity. If you have 5 or 8 or 10 years of professional experience, and there's something else worth saying. A lot of career changers tell me the PMP is the thing they need before they can start applying. I understand that instinct, but I've also seen what happens when someone spends another year studying for certification before they've built the rest of their positioning. The cert doesn't get you the interview. The story does. The cert opens the door, but you still have to walk through it. Before I get into the specific action steps, I want to point you to something free. is the PM Career ROI Calculator. You put in your current salary, your target PM salary, and how long you've been in the search. It shows you what each month of delay is actually costing you financially. Not as pressure, as math, because most people in this market are thinking about this as a question of readiness, when it's also a question of cost. The link is in the description. It takes 2 minutes. Go run your numbers and then come back. Let me be specific about what this change means if you're a career changer who hasn't taken the PMP yet. First, the new exam is going to feel more like your actual work. It's not an instance. The business environment domain is asking things like, how do you evaluate whether a project is still worth doing? What does governance look like when stakeholders disagree? How do you balance compliance pressure with delivery speed? These are questions you have likely been answering in your job for years. If you've been in operations, healthcare, finance, or any coordination role, you've navigated this. The new exam is moving toward recognizing that. It means the experience you've spent years accumulating maps more directly to what the exam is testing. You don't need to memorize the pinbox word for word. You need to understand why the decisions it describes make sense. That's a different kind of preparation, and it's one that plays to your strengths. Second, don't let outdated study materials set you back. If you bought a course in 2024 or 2025 aligned to the 2021 ECO, check whether your provider has updated it. Some have, some haven't. Some are still selling 2021 aligned content without flagging the change. Check your providers, check the ECO version their content maps to, and confirm before you spend another 100 hours starting the wrong reading. Third, the 10-year experience window matters. PMI's updated eligibility now counts project experience from the past 10 years. If your coordination work, stakeholder management, or project delivery goes back further than you've been counting, it may now qualify. Go back and audit. You may have more on paper than you thought. Here's what this comes down to. The PMP is getting harder in one specific way. It's asking you to think more like a business stakeholder and less like a process technician. That shift is actually in your favor if you've been navigating real organizational complexity for any length of time. The deadline is July 8th for the current exam. July 9th is when the new one goes live. If you're ready, take the current one. If you're not, don't rush. Use the updated materials and let your real-world judgment become your advantage. And if you haven't run the ROI calculator yet, go do that. The link is in the description, because the certification question and the financial cost of this search are not separate conversations. They're the same one, and the numbers tend to clarify the decision faster than anything else. If this helps, subscribe. I put out practical content for people who are serious about making this transition. I'll see you in the next one.